Hi, I'm Jane from Night Owl Speaks, and welcome to part 2 of my presentation, Women and Alcohol. In part 1, we discussed primarily the risk factors associated with alcohol consumption, particularly from the perspective of misuse. And today I want to continue that discussion and to share some statistics and look more closely at some of the benefits of reducing alcohol consumption or even abstinence itself. And before we start, I'd just like to reiterate that my intention is not to direct or create fear, but merely to offer up some points to think about. So let's begin with the confronting but relevant topic of domestic violence. It stands to reason that incidents of violence are often perpetrated by people who have consumed alcohol. In Australia, it is estimated that alcohol was involved in 36% of intimate partner homicides, and both sexes I'm talking about now. It also stands to reason that any confrontation is less likely to be managed effectively if alcohol has been consumed, especially in larger quantities. We all are aware by now that drinking during pregnancy poses potentially serious risks to the unborn baby, not least of which is fetal alcohol syndrome, which is a constellation of developmental, mental and physical problems. The general advice now is don't drink during pregnancy. We also know by now that alcohol can impair judgment, perception, vigilance and reaction time, and therefore poses an increased chance of having a road traffic accident, or any accident for that matter. Current alcohol limits in Australia are 0.05%, which means that there is 0.05 of a gram of alcohol in every 100 ml of blood. The rule of thumb is 2 standard drinks in 1 hour will raise your blood alcohol level to 0.05%, and 1 standard drink per hour after that will maintain that level. So what are the current guidelines for the consumption of alcohol in women? Well, in Australia, no more than 10 standard drinks a week, which sounds like quite a bit. And in the USA, no more than 1 standard drink a day, which is the equivalent of 7 standard drinks a week. It is also considered sensible advice to have alcohol-free days. So here are some standard drink levels for you just to look at. And most of my friends would be pouring way more than that when they pour you out a glass of wine. So as you can see, it would be very easy to exceed the standard drink level. What are the experts saying? Well, a study published in The Lancet in 2016 cited alcohol as the 7th leading risk factor for premature death, and that it accounted for 2.2% of all female deaths. And Harvard research suggests that there are no safe levels of alcohol consumption. Now, I'm not suggesting that we all suddenly become teetotalers, but let's take a look at the benefits of abstinence for a moment. Well, you'll certainly have a reduction in risk factors for heart disease and liver disease, brain damage including dementia, and cancers such as breast, bowel, throat and mouth. And for those with type 2 diabetes, alcohol can interfere with sugar regulation and medications, so there should be an improvement there. Abstinence can also assist with weight management, clearer skin, more energy, better sleep for sure, more focus and clarity, a possible improvement in mood, a reduction in anxiety, and an improvement in the finances. And last but not least, potentially an improvement in the quality of relationships, as there is less potential for emotional reactivity. In certain social groups, and for some reason, people who choose not to consume alcohol are viewed with a degree of suspicion. We've all heard the terms killjoy, boring, straight, wowser, self-righteous, etc., etc. Maybe that trend is changing, and I think it is. But my observations have led me to believe that it can sometimes be uncomfortable for people to be with drinkers when they're becoming disinhibited. It's very hard to find that connecting point sometimes. I know people that even pretend that they are drinking alcohol so that they can avoid being scrutinised and having to explain themselves. They have come to accept that some people are just uncomfortable being around non-drinkers. A similar social situation would be when you decline to take a slice of chocolate cake and it's viewed as some sort of treachery. I think that abstinence taps into some kind of misplaced guilt in others, but that's a subject for another day. Hopefully, this culture will change, and abstinence will be widely viewed as a legitimate lifestyle choice. Many people are definitely re-evaluating their relationship to alcohol, and organisations such as Hello Sunday Morning are encouraging this. There are alcohol-free bars popping up all over the place. They're becoming quite popular. And there are now many more alcohol-free beers and wines and other beverages on the market. A dependence on alcohol is a completely different story, as this takes away our freedom to choose. And so, if you think that you may have a habit which is problematic or becoming problematic, it is always a positive step to go and speak with someone. That first person might be a trusted medical professional who can discuss treatment options and strategies depending on your particular circumstances. If you do have any alcohol-related problems in your life, here are some numbers that you might choose to ring at some stage to get some help. Thanks for the conversation. I'm Jane from Night Owl Speaks, and I'll see you very soon.